Okay, great. All right. Thanks, everyone, and welcome to Workshop 12 in the PYF Winter Academy series. Super excited to have our head of media, Sabila, lead this workshop. My name is Bushra. You all probably have seen a lot of me at this point, and I am the head of education at the PYF. And we have another volunteer with us today, Janet. A brief introduction.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Junaid. I am a freshman majoring in computer science and economics. It's great to have you all over here today. See you. Stay tuned.
And we also have Zainab, who's going to be helping us. Zainab, who actually led the previous workshop on Introduction to Photoshop. And she's also a huge part of our media team and a big driver of what you see on our beautiful Instagram. And she will be our media volunteer. Do you want to do a quick intro, Zainab?
Yes, Assalamualaikum everyone. This is Zainab Khalid, and I hope you'll be enjoying this workshop. And I'll be volunteering for TV unit. So I hope you have lots to learn from Sabila.
Great. Before I hand over to Sabila, I quickly want to run over some guidelines so that we're all able to make the most of the experience. Sabila, I'll just have to stop sharing your screen and share mine for a quick second. Many of you are very familiar with these guidelines by now, but it always helps to go through them again. All right, so this is an online workshop. If we were in person, I would ask you to put away your phone or not please be on it as much so that you can focus. But since we're all logging in from our devices, we can't put them away. So what I suggest instead is that we try to close those tabs, minimize those windows, and try to stay focused. Otherwise, it's really easy to lose track of what's being shared. And Sabila has some amazing, very comprehensive information to share. So I wouldn't want you to lose track and miss out on any of it. Secondly, we really want this to be a safe space where people feel comfortable sharing, asking questions, and the conversation flows really organically. So we really encourage people to withhold your judgment about anything that's happening, whether there's a glitch in the workshop, any technical glitch or anything like that. Whether someone's asking a question that you find silly or anything like that, just try to withhold your judgment and be compassionate towards everyone and respectful towards everyone in the space, because we're all here to learn and we're all coming from different backgrounds. Thirdly, it would be wonderful if you could try to keep your videos on at least for some part of the workshop, because again, it helps to make it a safe space. We've definitely seen a major difference when more people have their cams on in terms of the interaction that we get. So if you can, possibly please do that and show us your beautiful face. And while you keep your cams open, also keep your mind wide open so you're able to absorb all the wonderful information that is about to be shared. And this is a workshop. This is not a webinar. This is not a lecture. You're not here to, it's not a one-directional conversation. This is a two-directional thing. So when you're called on to discuss or contribute, please be active. You're here to be active, not just a passive observer. And finally, please enjoy yourself. And with that, I'm going to hand over to our workshop lead, Sabila.
All right, guys, can you see my screen? All right, perfect. So hi, welcome to Digital Marketing and Creative Strategy Workshop. A little about me is that I'm the head of media. My name is Sabila, and I'm a medical student. And when I do get the time of it, I actually do kind of get into creative stuff, mainly digitally itself. And you can just see all these softwares that I usually do, and all these skills that I often dabble into aside from studies. So that's pretty much about me. Now, what we'll be covering in this presentation in the workshop would be the first bit is all about social media crash course. So for some bits, I'll be actually skimming over because it's really basic, but the other things you'll be pretty much learning everything that's to do with creativity in terms of creative strategies and which platforms you can utilize for certain things as well. The second bit is all going to be about Canva and designing and all that. So given it's COVID right now, we pretty much all are succumbing to online social medias and on being online present and stuff. So here is that given everything's online, we want to be standing out in terms of our business or even personally on social media. So right now, digital marketing has become more important than ever, and that's why this workshop is pretty much integral as well. Now, the first topic, which social media platform should you use for yourself or for various businesses? So I found this poster, and honestly, it was super helpful in terms of getting an idea and what questions you can ask when choosing a platform itself. So the first question is you can ask that, who is your ideal customer? Who are you targeting? Is it the older population? Is it the Gen Z population? Who are they exactly? Second is that, what are your goals? What are you trying to target? What are you trying to achieve? Third is that, which platform would suit your style? Some platforms are more so based visually. Some are based only for written bit. So according to that, you can choose. Now, going into each platform, we can see, for example, for Facebook, even though it says here that's almost for all ages, I kind of don't really agree with it, because I feel like a lot of the 25 plus people are usually on Facebook itself. And more so, most of us are on TikTok or Instagram or Twitter. So that's my view on the demographic for Facebook. But Facebook is absolutely amazing if you want to get text across, images, videos, creating albums, connecting with family, promoting local events, and creating pages where you can actually share content and let other people share content as well. So it's great for building a community that is on there. Second is going to be YouTube. Pretty much, I mean, I spend a lot of time on YouTube, and that's because like there are a lot of variety of the topics that are there, but it's mainly just for videos. So if you want to improve your videography skills or anything like that, then would definitely recommend you to post on YouTube itself. So here, usually people post about once a week, and it's usually do with tutorials, funny content, anything. Literally, it's just ranging. Third, Instagram. Instagram is literally the hub for me, because like it has everything: visual, text, videos now, reels, everything. So pretty much, the more so if you see, the younger population is on there on Instagram, and a lot of businesses are based on Instagram as well now. Considering now they have the feature called Shop, where you can actually just uh, promote your products there. So here on Instagram, the main thing is just creating a visual or a brand for yourself, establishing personal connections, and connecting with the existing customer if you're looking from a business perspective. Coming to LinkedIn, LinkedIn is pretty much a very professional platform that's there. Everything is pretty formal. It's more so to do with putting out your resume, putting out more about yourself in terms of like achievements and all that. So it's not really a place where you can just like post about various stuff, but it's like I guess putting out yourself in terms of academics and work personal itself. Now, coming to Twitter, I personally use it as my rant place, where I just like type in my thoughts about anything and everything, and it's not really filtered. So the good thing about Twitter is that everyone's pretty much very vocal about social activism is like a thing on Twitter. Everyone talks about everything on there. But the thing about Twitter is that it's very limited in terms of the wordings. You have like 150 characters max that you can really write. But it's absolutely amazing to get a conversation going there, and just like connecting with influencers and companies as well there. Oh yeah, and like majority again, like 18-29 of the age people are there. Pinterest is like my inspo board, because it has like all the creative stuff that you can find on there. So for Pinterest, it's like various from age itself, various content is there. For example, if you're a blogger, you would tend to post a picture of your blog itself, a visual image, and just put in the link for your website. And that's where you can actually get a lot more leads from there. So a lot more people can visit your website from Pinterest itself. But it's mainly to do with creativity. Now, the next one wasn't added to this, but it's like a more recent thing, is TikTok. Everyone is on there because there's so many trends, so many catchy music. Even businesses are transitioning to it, because a lot more people, wherever people are more so there, they will transition to it so people can actually view it. So TikTok is mainly for a young population. It's amazing if you want to get on trends and put on catchy songs and everything. Behance is an absolutely amazing creative portfolio. Whether you're a graphic designer, a videographer, photographer, you would definitely want to use this to create your portfolio. So that is to do with everything to do with social media platform in a very, very small gist, which demographic and everything. Now, this bit is not something that I'm going to explain, but it's something for you if you want to take a screenshot, because these are the dimensions you want to keep in track if you want to create a poster on Photoshop, Canva, or anything. So these dimensions are something you would want to keep in track of. Same thing to do with IGTV is that unlike YouTube, it is like a stories formation, like a, I think 9:16 is it? It's like 9:16, whereas YouTube is horizontal. Now activity time. So which platform, you can like type in through chat by the way, or open your mic, is that which platform do you think is great for creative portfolio? That's that true, yeah. Behance, Instagram and Behance. That's very true
Instagram,
actually,
yeah.
because a lot of people use Instagram to actually create their creative portfolio as well. Definitely. Now, which platform do you think is a lot more professional? LinkedIn for sure. Twitter, I don't think so. It's a lot more professional. Like people just rant there. Honestly, you just go and just write down your thoughts. But yeah, LinkedIn for sure is a lot more professional platform they can utilize. Now moving into a lot more technicality of terms and stuff, digital marketing terminology. And one thing I'm gonna ask is that, do you guys know what KPI is? Feel free to write it down in chat.
Key performance indicator.
Yes, it is. It is. All right, so I'll just be explaining about this. Since most of you actually don't know, key performance indicator is actually the targets that you set for yourself. It's the objectives that the business is striving to achieve. So for example, for me, my KPI would be that I want to increase my followers by 30 in the coming month. For example, a very KPI for a content creator, that would be that. So every business and every personnel, whoever it is, will have a tailored KPI to them. And this is what you use. Like these are the targets that you set for yourself. And once you're achieved, this is how you actually measure your success rate. Now, what are the principles for KPI? Is that it's actually by the abbreviation SMART. First is that it has to be specific. So whatever target you're keeping for yourself, it has to be specific for your own business. Second, it should be measurable. Like how are you actually going to see what's the progress of it? Third is that it should be like achievable, attainable. It should be, you're setting yourself to actually achieve it. Fourth is it should be relevant. Like you wouldn't keep yourself, for example, a content creation is keeping someone like sales and stuff. That's pretty not relevant itself. For content creators, you would keep like how much engagement are you having? How many followers are you gaining? And all that. Then T is something about time bound. You would definitely keep a deadline for your goals just to see the progress rate for it. And that's something that motivates you as well. So SMART is something that you use to actually have a, measure your KPI, keep in mind. All right. Moving into next thing. Does anyone know what SEO is? Nope. All right. I'll explain. It's okay. Yes, Huda and Rafa, it is search engine optimization. So what this term really means is that if, for example, I'm searching the word youth, I would want, for example, Pakistan Youth Forum to come up first. So what happens that whenever someone searches a certain keyword on Google or any search engine, you would want your website to come up first. So that's how you think. You would want your ranking of the website to come up first, and that's what SEO basically deals with. It's the ranking of the website or the page. Now, there are certain things you can keep in mind to actually improve your SEO, especially if you're a blogger or a content creator and you have your own website. There are certain things you can keep in mind. For example, the acquisition of link building. That's basically, for example, if I'm blogging and I'm writing about a certain show, I would hyperlink that show to a link that talks about a show. So it's, like interconnecting different links that are there. Second is actually using the keywords that you want them to be connected with. So for example, with Pakistan Youth Forum, I would want it to be connected to the word youth, Pakistan, empowerment, and all that. So I would use those words as well on the website. Third is obviously quality. Everyone wants to see quality work, and that literally trumps over the quantity bit itself. Then it's actually how you're gonna measure your analytics for your website itself. And there are like various tools that are available on various websites. Then third is the implementation of timely website audit. Website audit is basically you need to ensure that whatever barriers are there from ranking your website higher, you're going to ensure that you kind of overcome them. Then again, like optimization of the on-page factors, you have to ensure your page or your website is actually efficient enough for it to be worth it to be actually ranked first. All right, does anyone have any questions in regards to any of the things that I just spoke about? Feel free to message, feel free to unmute anything. Feel free to drop in a no as well if you don't have any questions. Okay, all right, perfect. So moving on to the next set of terminologies, I'm going to be very, very quick with this, is that something to do about click-through rate. Now, this is basically, for example, if I'm sending an email and the number of people that actually clicked on the link that's sent, that's like the click-through rate out of the people you sent it out of. So that's something they actually measure through as well. Impressions, I think you guys might have come across this on various social media platforms. This is all to do with the number of times your content has been seen by people. Third is call to action. This is pretty important because you want there to be a certain action that's taken out of the content you're giving out as well. So a certain time is just like purchase this workbook, go to this website. That's call to action. The fourth one is the landing page. That's basically when a website directs it to another website. So that's your landing page when you direct it to that. Then social listening is really, really important for businesses because you would want to know what your consumer wants. So social listening is understanding what your products are, or what the kind of products your customer need and everything to do with them. All right, now activity time. So I want you guys to think like a social media strategist, all right? Imagine that you are the social media manager for a designer clothing label. First question, which platforms would you use and why?
How should people respond? Should they do it on chat? Should they unmute?
Oh yeah, any. I'm good with any. Online, unmuting themselves or on chat. I'm good with either. I like that, Pinterest for some ideas. I think what's great about Pinterest is that you can even like upload pictures of the clothes and you can link it to the website itself for them to shop. So that's definitely a great thing. Which other platform? Instagram is great. Definitely. I mean the recent feature that I added for shop, I've been using that a lot because I've been scrolling literally and seeing all the things that are there. Instagram for more views, Instagram for marketing, yes. Instagram, yes. I feel like all of us are pretty much on there. Oh yes, even Facebook. I've seen quite a lot of clothing pages that are there on Facebook, and a lot of people actually post there, so it's a great way to do that. Instant feedback, definitely for sure from Instagram as well. Instagram, it has even special features. That is true. That's why I absolutely love, personally, I love Instagram. It has a lot of features that actually made them inclusive of. All right, so I'll just go to the next question. The next question is that what KPIs would you set? So what kind of targets that you feel the business should achieve that you would set for this? That's true, increasing sales. Increasing sales, definitely when you're a business, that's something you definitely should keep as well. But would you want to specify it though? Like for example, how many sales? Because the thing we talked about smart, right? We need to keep as to time bounding it. How are we going to measure it as well? I love how Bushra is just like pitching in relevance to everything.
Because actually increasing sales would be a KPI I would set for the business. But
yeah.
How would I set a KPI for my social media performance that would relate to my sales increasing? That's how we want to think as a social media strategist.
True. Reaching out to the right pages for marketing boosts, definitely. Especially Facebook, I've seen a lot of people do that. They just pitch in there, and a lot of people start commenting and being very directed to the website itself. I mean, I did that for like one of the workbooks that I posted. It's about a calendar and stuff. I posted on like various pages that were all about planners. So once I did that, I got a lot of people being redirected to my website. Oh yes, click-through rate. That's one good way to actually measure it. That's true. A lot of the stuff, if you see, like, I think a lot of the social media platforms already have like various tools that are installed within the platform itself that actually allows you to, easily getting to know the progress itself. Definitely directing people to that side. I'm just gonna move on to the third question, is that what kind of content would you create for each platform? Like, for example, if you're posting on Instagram, what exactly content would you want to create? Like photos or posters or, just like brainstorm, even stories, just think about those. I mean, I've seen like amazing stuff on TikTok as well. I'm just giving an idea.
So we are kind of putting people on the spot because some people, you take some time to think it through. But I do think there are some cool ideas we can also come off of the top of our head. And everyone's talking about Instagram, but there are other platforms as well. And I encourage people to think about
Like personally, I'll give you one, is that I've seen a lot of people, like fashion brands, go onto TikTok and they got into contact with influencers, because if you see, I don't know if many of you have seen, but like there's this instant change of clothes that's happening on TikTok for some reason. There's a trendy song and everyone's like changing clothes in a second, or like, those transitions. So some fashion brands have actually reached out to such influencers who have a great following, and they just like promote it through videography, through hopping onto various trends. And that's what catches people attention now. Exactly, TikTok for showcasing new clothing line and getting creative with it. The way you show it as well. Like I've seen people do flat lays, for example, of the clothes that is there. What are you wearing that day as well? Just throw in like boots and what are you matching and all that stuff. Following trends for sure. Posters, yes. Even posters, noting down the website. The graphics is really important as well. Live working videos, real-time pictures, and the working progress. That's a great way to get people engaged as well. That's true. OTTs, I used to do those a lot. Oh my God. Taking aesthetic photos of the stuff I'm selling and sell it. A lot of people, I don't know, have you guys seen like a lot of people have started to sell their own clothes, like the old ones on Instagram? Like everyone's made a page and they started selling. I'm actually thinking of doing it too. But yeah, that's amazing. All these are amazing ideas, honestly. All right, moving on to the topic of hashtags. I'm gonna keep all this very brief because this is something very known to us. But the main thing about hashtags is that you're making it a lot more visible to the people out there. You're creating a brand for yourself. But you want to also ensure that you're not spamming people with hashtags as well. So main things to keep in mind is that do your research in terms of the topic you're actually going to be hashtagging in relevance to. Relevant and research go in hand right now, and do not spam. The main thing is that we're keeping it for the purpose of branding and visibility. And I actually have two resources that I can actually share with you guys in relevance to hashtags. Is that there's a website called besthashtags.com. All I've got to do is that write the topic you want hashtags in relevance to, and it gives you a list of 30 hashtags for it. So that's super helpful if you want to like create hashtags for a certain purpose. All right. Second is Hashtagify Me, which is basically just seeing the progress or the relevance of that hashtag in regards to anything. It also sees or shows you posts that have that certain hashtag. So it really helps you about. So you guys can just note these down. If you want, I can just share them as well if I have it. Actually, I think Bushra and I will actually send you the presentation at the end. So that will just make it a lot more easier to have the resources. Now, again, the same case scenario, but just two more questions. One is that which hashtags would you guys recommend to use for this? Also, one more thing I can just add in right now itself, like for example, Twitter. I read that you shouldn't use more than 3 hashtags because it actually will decrease the visibility of it. And Instagram allows you maximum of 30 hashtags. So that's something that you guys can note down as well.
Actually, I have a question here. It's a genuine question. It's clever to use a different number of hashtags for different platforms, right? So for Instagram, I'd want to use more. Yeah. And for Twitter and Facebook, I'd want to use less.
Exactly.
And so that means, so if I'm selecting a hashtag, I'd be selecting different types of hashtags for each platform.
You need to see what's trending on that certain platform as well. Like that's one thing great about Twitter is that you have a section showing you all the trending hashtags for that day. And most of them are to do with any political issue or social issues that is there. That's also amazing. Fashion trends, style up, new trend clothing, dress, designer, fashion, all those are absolutely amazing ideas, honestly. Now, what SEO keywords can you use? Because if you see certain, like obviously if you want them to be directed to your website, you would want your ranking for your page to be higher as well, right? When you're searching up certain things. So what kind of keywords can you keep in mind when you're writing about fashion itself? Just certain keywords that come to your mind. Or how you can improve your SEO through the, I think there were 6 or 7 pointers that were mentioned before. Feel free to comment in. True, depends on the tool aesthetic of the label and the services they provide. I think you can even focus on the fabric that is used in fashion. I feel like a lot of people are going for, I think not a lot of people are going for leather or the ones obtained from animals, because that's something that was going on as well. So focusing on where your fabric is coming from, or like the company environment as well, the people who are working on it, that actually matters a lot more now. I think I'll go ahead with it, right? Or should I wait in a little bit as well? Oh, what do you need help in exactly, Zainab? Because I think you do a lot of work on textile, right? So I think when it comes to this, it's always just mentioning about the various processes or things that really go into fashion, the fabric, the quality, the patterns, everything in regards to that, and just like mentioning a lot of it. Obviously, you need to ensure that it's not repetitive. It's phrased in a lot more different ways as well. Well, I think we can definitely search for more. I think we can definitely talk about this at the end of the workshop as well. All right, guys, I'll just move ahead for it for now. That's all right. Now, for this bit, I would absolutely love if you could just take out your phones, open your Instagram, but not get exactly distracted, because the certain parts that are going to come up, it's going to be really helpful if you have your phone and just like follow along. All right, so I'm just going to give guys time to actually take it out. Just see. So majorly for this, it's literally just a crash course. We're going to be forwarding in the PowerPoint, so I'm going to be skimming over a lot of stuff that I feel are basic. And I'm going to be focusing on the parts that I feel are interesting or you could learn from right now itself. All right. So one thing too is that if you guys have seen public accounts have like public accounts itself, they have this part where they actually mention what they are, whether they're environmentalist or a product or service. So I don't think so. I think most of you actually really know as to how we can set it up, because it's just through very basic. Go to the edit profile, switch to professional account, and that's it. Just choose a category and whether you're a creator or a business. That simple. If anyone wants to repeat it, do let me know. But otherwise, it's super basic. Just go into your profile editing, and that's how you can change from a private account to a business account or a public account. All right. Now, going into the Instagram bio, when you open an account, what is the first thing you notice? Like when you're scrolling through anyone's account, what is the first thing you actually notice about it? Do you actually focus on the bio, or do you just focus more on the feed? Bio. Definitely insane. I feel like the codes, especially people mention in their bios, really like gives me an insight on them as well. For sure. So the thing about bios is that I'm not gonna go much on detail because I'm sending this across, but there's certain things you guys want to keep in mind when you're phrasing your bio. You want to give as much as possible about yourself in the right phrasing. For example, what is your aim? If you're a business basher or a content creator, you want to say as to what you're putting out. What is your main focus? Mention your field itself as well. Then call to action. For example, like I personally have all my links condensed into one link. So that's like my call out link itself. A lot of people just like whatever is recently happening, whatever blog is up, they actually even put it up there as well. All right, does anyone want me to expand on the bio bit though? Or is it good to go? I think it's good to go, right? All right. Again, not giving too much or going too much into it, but the basic or like the amazing thing about public accounts is that it gives you an insight as to what's happening with your account. It's telling you how much of an engagement there is with your audience, how much of traffic is coming along as well. So this is absolutely amazing. I'm not giving too much away, but it gives you more insight through this option that's there on your account. It's going to be called Insights. It tells you how many accounts your posts have reached, how many interaction has happened with a certain post, how many followers have you gained as well, and impressions. As we did before, we all remember what is impressions, right? As to how much the content is being seen by the people as well. So these terms I was just discussing is just to help you to understand certain things you'll be reading or coming across as well. So for example, like your top posts. When you see what are your top posts, you realize as to you have to like brainstorm as well or think, why are these my top posts? Was it just in the moment thing or was it shared a lot as well? Did it have a certain content that was very different than my usual? So that just gives you a lot more ideas in that. Top stories as well. Which one did you have most engagement with? Then all about interactions. How many interactions in terms of likes, saved, comments, shares, all that. It gives you a lot more of a insight into it. Audience is really important when you want to see as to which country or which city is actually viewing your story, and accordingly you'll post. For example, if I have a lot more followers from Dubai, that's because they tend to see as to which of the cafes I visit here, or which of the restaurants I visit here, and that's like giving them more insight. And again, the age demographic that you see, and accordingly you can tailor your content as well according to your audience. Posting on Instagram is super easy, not too much. Just two features I want to tell you guys is that you can post multiple stories and you can cross share on various social medias directly through Instagram. Now, feed layout. I feel like personally, feed layout is like a personal portfolio for you. You're just like a visual portfolio that you're putting out for people to see. So I want you guys to think just in your head itself is that what these questions, what type of content, if you were in those places, if you had a public account, what type of content would you post? What would be your aesthetic? Would it be minimalism or brown, moody, any of those sorts? And what are the top 3 colors you would have in your feed as well? And whether, like, for example, if you see our PYF account, we've started this theme or thing is that we put up banners to show an indication for starting a campaign. So same way, do you want to start a grid? Do you want to put up a banner? All these things you can actually question yourself before you start. Now, certain tips for your post and feed is that you want to have a visual voice, right? And you want to ensure there's a consistent look on your feed as well. So for example, if you see the first one, it's a lot more gray, moody look. Second is a lot more brown, aesthetic. And even third one is like minimalism, and there's only like green, white, and certain colors that can be seen, and there's quotations as well. So out of all of these, I want to ask you guys, what appeals to you? Like just put in the number that appeals to you in chat. 1, 2, or 3. 3, 3, 1. Second and third. Second, very moody. I feel like I'm in between 1 and 2. Like I would want something if I were to have a perfect feed, I would be actually in between the 2. 2 and 3. That's amazing, honestly. Same though. Now, this is an introduction to an app. It's called Preview. And what this app does is that it allows you to visualize your feed beforehand, before posting. So what you can do is that you just have to download the app. It's very, very simple. Connect your Instagram account and you just upload the pictures that you want to post but aren't posting right now. And what this app allows you to do is that you can move around images on the app itself. So you can place them in such a way that it actually allows you to create a visual schedule as to how you're going to go about it. So that's amazing if you want to create a layout beforehand posting it itself. It's called Preview, by the way. And scheduling out a post, it's free for I think a month or so. So that's amazing as well. Second is an app we started to use. It's called Grid Post. And what grid post does is that you see these banners and this image cut out to various bits and pieces. All you've got to do is upload an image and you select how many cuts or like, how many posts you want it to cut into. So for example, they cut into about 9 pieces here, and we cut out for our banners into 3 pieces. So very easy to use. Just upload an image and select how much post you want to be cut into. So preview and grid post. These are absolutely amazing apps. This I'm not going to go into much detail because it was relevant to the older version of Instagram, just because I used to have a lot of trouble with captions. Not going to go much through this unless you guys want me to. It's called Archive. It's basically just removing or hiding your posts that were already posted. For example, on your feed. And stories are just where the old stories were already posted. So not going to go in much details about it unless you guys want me to. All right. All right, just a minute. Again, saving post, very easy. The bookmark sign is right there. Just save it into an album, and you can visit it anytime. The new feature that Instagram got is actually called Guideline. So if you go onto the three lines that are there on your Instagram, you can see there's an option called Guide. Now, what Guide basically allows you to do is that you can actually recommend places. So it's like a blog that's on Instagram itself. So you can recommend places through your guide. You can recommend products. You can recommend posts. And it will give, how there's, for example, I hope you guys can see my cursor. There's this post bit, there's videos, and there's this, right? So we'll create another one called the guide, and we'll post any of these things. So it's like a blog within Instagram. Now, Instagram, oh, by the way, does anyone have any questions as of yet? Any at all?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, for sure.
One
Ask
question.
it.
Yeah, it's just for about the grid, the app you were talking about, the grid posts, right? Does there need to be obviously a certain pixel, so you have like clear photos, like it's clearly divided. It's not like pixelated or anything. It's like, do you understand?
Yeah, I get what you mean. I feel like definitely the higher the quality, the better.
Yeah.
But that's why I like taking photos from my camera, even though it's like definitely harder to take. But it's best thing about cameras is that when you take a picture from camera and when you cut it up or edit it, the quality doesn't degrade much. So definitely, if you're planning to cut up a photo, then I would definitely advise you to take a picture from the camera and then cut it up. But in terms of poster, it doesn't really make a difference, especially when we start discussing about Canva. We can talk about how you can just divide those posts as well. Because we usually make our posters either on Canva most of the time and on Photoshop. So it doesn't really affect.
Okay, thank you.
All right, anytime. Does anyone have any other questions? All right, I'll just move on to the Instagram story features. I was supposed to ask, well, I asked this already. All right, I'm not gonna go into much of the camera features because I feel like all of us are aware, but I'm just gonna briefly discuss it here. You can see like when you open your camera on Instagram, for example, just open it, you'll see all these. You have create option, you have boomerang, you have layout, super zoom, hands-free, and what I think the new one was that layout. It's basically where you can actually form a collage right on your story itself. Multi-capture allows you to take multiple photos at once. And super zoom is like, usually it's on the face itself. So you just like point to someone's face and it just zooms in with a different theme. They're sad, happy, and all that. Hands-free is absolutely amazing if you just want to record a long moment or if you want to keep your phone away for a long time and you want to take a picture with your friend, but you knit. So you just keep your phone there. Hands-free just takes a video without you having to hold it. Second, engagement stickers, for example, gifts, time, poll, questions, countdown, scale, quiz. All this is absolutely amazing for engagement. Like polls and all that is a must to have if you're doing engagement and stuff. Other stuff that's there is location, mention, and hashtags. One more, I guess, a tip that I can give you is that how I actually hide it is that how I kind of find them to be looking a little ugly, the mentions and the hashtags to be really on there. So what I do is that if you can actually, I think I can show you here possibly. Can I? Just a minute. Yeah, for example, if I just mention my name here, just see what I do with it. All right. For example, I take out a hashtag as well. Just write anything. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull all this, like these two things that I brought onto the screen, and pull it down to the screen itself, like out of the screen. So what this will do is that it will actually have these things linked to your story, but not necessarily showing. So that's one good way to go about it. And the great thing about actually tagging people is that they're able to reshare it on their story. So if you're a business thinking about how you can create a lot more reshares, you can have certain people allocated and you can just tag them, and accordingly they can reshare and just reach out to a lot more people. All right, if everyone's all right, I'm gonna move ahead, yeah? Instagram story filters, not even gonna go through it. It's literally just search and you just find a lot more of filters. The amazing ones, there are so many creative ones. There's quizzes, I think there was one even like trying to read out certain messed up words and thinking what actually words it were. I don't exactly remember, but it was absolutely amazing. So amazing filters, definitely use them, especially if you don't want to go and edit the video, like grade it and stuff through Adobe Premiere. So it really helps to actually have pre-made filters. Instagram story highlights, not gonna go through it much, but it's absolutely amazing tool to save a lot of the stories that you have. So I often do that. I just like, for example, a lot of the businesses have icons made for it, and they have like performances, people, tips, and everything shared onto there, so people can actually visit it, and it doesn't have to disappear after 24 hours. Not gonna go through it. Super simple. I'll be sending you all this just to show us how we can create highlights. All right, guys. So the ways you can actually create highlights with icons is through Canva, Photoshop, or you can even find them pre-made online and for free. So just Google search Instagram highlights and you can find them there. Moving on to the relatively fun bit is the creative Instagram story edits. All right. So I would definitely recommend you guys to actually have your story open right now, especially right now, so you can actually play around with it. So the first edit that I'm going to show is the solid color fill. So what solid color fill is that if you go to the pins of your Instagram story, all right, select any one, the first one actually, you can select any color and keep it pressed on your screen. So when you select and the first marker that is there with any color and keep it pressed on your screen, it actually fills the entire story or the entire page with a certain color, which is super useful if you're kind of like reposting a story, because when you repost, you tend to see there's a gradient background that is there. You want to avoid that and just fill it with a solid color. So that's one way to go about it. All right. Moving on to the translucent color fill. So if you don't want to really cover it entirely, but you want to have like a shade of a different color on it, what you're going to do is that instead of choosing the first marker, you're going to choose the second one. All right, choose any color, keep it pressed on your screen and see what happens. It's going to give a translucent kind of a feel or look, sorry. All right, is anyone having a trouble as of yet? If anyone's have, honestly, feel free to let me know. All right. Moving on to the third edit. That's going to be your copy paste option. So now what you can do is that select any photo that's there in your album. You can go into the copy option and it will directly appear when you come back to Instagram, it will directly appear as this. All right. Or you can just go to your text and paste it manually as well, like pasting it right there. But now what's amazing is that I know a lot of the Android users don't have this, but so like Instagram right now, what they did is that introduced images itself. So if you go to like, where all your GIFs and everything are, there's also an option called images and you can directly paste from there as well. So either way it works. You can copy paste stuff. This is absolutely amazing if you want to copy paste like PNG photos or, symbols and all that and get creative with it. This is what I was talking about. Like you can copy paste images, symbols, PNG frames. Like I did this thing where I was reposting an IGTV video and I went and Google searched golden frame PNG. Now, I think if you guys definitely attended the previous workshop that Zainab Khala and Zainab Khatam gave, they talked about the difference between JPEG and PNG. PNG is basically having a transparent background. So it's only the element or that picture that you want without the white background or the blue background or anything like that. So now here comes the activity part of it. I want you guys to create a story of something that you copy pasted. It can either be a symbol, frame, image, and the background should either be translucent or solid color. So you can send it through, you can either tag it if your account is not public, or you can actually send it through PYF DM because I have it right open here. So I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes. I want you to get as creative as possible with 3 elements: copy paste, translucent color, or solid color background, and just send it through. If you guys have any troubles in doing it as well, let me know because I can just definitely show you once again. Oh wait, Michelle, let me see. Wait, what are you showing? I didn't see your camera back then.
I'm trying to take a picture actually and use it.
Oh, wait, that's gonna be another one, but this is just simply images and color backgrounds and stuff.
I'm actually trying to figure out how to copy paste an image.
What device are you using?
Android.
Oh, that doesn't work on Android. Unfortunately, I don't think so. Android users have that option of copy, is it?
So I should take a picture and then try those.
So for this activity, what you've got to do is that just take a picture of anything, but I want your background to be solid color or translucent.
Okay.
So one of the 2 features we just saw, and just place something on it. For example, a PNG frame or an image or anything like that. So just utilizing all those 3 features. Oh, Zainab Khan just like gave a recommendation. It's basically in Android, it saves in the clipboard. So when you copy it, it actually saves in the clipboard itself. I'm sorry, I'm like not a Android user. I have like everything Apple. If you tag, let me know. If you send, let me know as well. Just like send it through chat. Can you send images through Zoom, by the way? I've never tried. I don't think so you can actually. So once you're done, just like put it on the chat itself. Like let me know it's done. Oh, Myra, I'm checking it out. Just a minute. Who received it? Well, can I share it? Just a minute. Let me see if I can actually share it. Just a minute, girl. I'll just be stopping the share and sharing this. Let me see if I can do that. Oh, wait, guys, can you guys see? So this is what Myra actually made. That glow-in edition is actually really good. I absolutely love it. And I can see that you use the translucent background as well. Absolutely love it, Myra. Once you send through, just let me know. And if any of you aren't able to do it as well, let me know as well. Any either way. Because only through doing it actually will you guys learn on the spot and hopefully keep using it as well. Would you guys want to submit it at the end? Do you feel that's better? For sure, what do you think?
Sure. If people can share it now, that's great. If they want to,
Yeah.
you can continue. And
I
there's
think
so many
best for now is like I give 5 minutes and whoever can submit it then it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But after that, feel free to share anyone, honestly. Because I would love to see those works. All right, let me see if I can share my PowerPoint back again. All right. So continuing forward. Anything you guys would want me to repeat or anything? I think we're good to go though, right? All right. Next thing is the Ombre text. So this is an absolutely amazing thing that I just found out as well, is that if you see here, what you have to do first is select the entire text and move across your keyboard. So I'll just explain in a step-to-step way. First is that write anything on your story. So capture anything. Write, for example, literally your name or anything. All right. Just give me a thumbs up when you guys are done. Perfect. All right, guys, see a lot of thumbs up there going up. All right, so you wrote your name. Now what you do is that you select all the text that is there. So select the entire text that I wrote. And you can open up you see these colors and the, I think when you press on one, right, it will open up this variety of color palette that is there. So for example, keep a hold of purple and the color palette opens up. If anyone's having a trouble, just let me know. All right. So what you do now is that start your color palette, like, start your color, which color you want to start off with. Just select that color. All right. And what you would want to do is that you would move that, you see that blue thing here, right there. All right. You would move that along as you're moving your other thumb on the color palette. So let me show if I can show it here as well. All right, I selected all. I mean, I don't know if I can show it, but I'll just show you the movement. What I'm saying is that you hold one thumb here, all right, and you hold one thumb here. Then you just move along. You move along both your thumbs. So when you move it along, it actually the color changes of each of the letters as well. And that's how it comes out to be. And that's how you can actually make an ombre text in a variety of the fonts that Instagram offers. Oh, I'm glad with that. I'm glad you find it cool. If anyone's having trouble at any store, just let me know. Because if we're good to go, then I'll just move ahead with the rest, yeah? Because even like when I started off, it actually was a bit tricky to move both of them along. But I think with practice, you can actually slide both of your thumbs and not lose any of the colors as well. All right. So how do we get this plaid is you basically hold on one of the colors. I'll just show you. So you see these colors, right? All you've got to do is that keep a hold, a press on the purple, for example. Just keep a hold of purple and the color palette, this variety of color palette will open up. Just let me know if it happens, Maria. Once you get it, just let me know. Oh, got it. Thanks. I'm glad. All right, did everyone get this? Because then we can move on to the little bit of the interesting bit. I'll be sharing a link on chat as well. Just give me a minute. So it's a website called Cool Symbol. All right. And all you gotta do is open this up and I'll show you how we can get text like this. This brown bit and the black bit, getting text like this is super easy from this website. So all I've got to do is open up this website called Cool Symbol. All right, they give you a variety. There's shapes there, there's text there. So I think if you see the tab up, it will give you font text if I'm not wrong. Can you guys see it? Did you get it? Like in that bit. Let me actually see. Oh, you got it, Huda. That's amazing. Let me see if I can get it directly actually. Oh yeah, it's called Font Changer actually. I'm just sending the direct link onto the chat. All right, so all you've got to do is that write anything on this website, copy paste it, and just paste it onto your story. So now what you can do is that you can even change the colors of these things you're copy pasting. And you can get as creative as possible with these because there are a lot of fonts on the website itself. All right, if anyone's having any trouble, just let me know because we do have an activity and that's where we're going to be using that a lot more as well. So for now, if anyone's having trouble, just like let me know in chat, I'll go back to it. This is the fun part. So what I want you guys to do is that I would want you to actually do an ombre text, or you can use the cool symbol text and just like add PYF Dubai. Or you can just write PYF Dubai itself. And I might just received a photo from you. Let me just check it out. Oh, and Zainab as well. This is absolutely amazing. I'll definitely be sharing it at the end of the workshop when I just connect my phone back. I absolutely love it. And honestly, it looks absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
I love how I combined all three. Like she used, I don't know if you guys can see this. Can you see it? It doesn't probably show the ombre text, but she used ombre text, copy paste feature, and the translucent background. Yes, the best part about Cool Symbol is that you can't, like, it's not only restricted to stories, you can even use it in your Instagram captions and anywhere. She used it on Zoom. That's amazing. You can get super creative with these fonts. Oh, I just got your message as well, Aisha. These are absolutely amazing. I'm like literally saving them all so I can show you guys. Actually, you know, I can show them right now as well. Let me just stop this share and show my phone. This is what Aisha made. It's like these borders with all these glowing dots that are there. And the glowing dots are very easy, by the way. They're just like the pen, depending on the pen you use. And the gift she used is absolutely amazing. I can see you tag them as well. Tag PYF. Again, the Ombre Text is absolutely amazing and the GIF used as well. So this was the activity. She used the cool symbol thing. I absolutely love her getting creative on the chat as well. Yeah, I think I had the rest saved, so. I think we can move ahead, right? I think we can, if everyone's done. If everything's clear, as the only reason why I'm actually doing these activities a lot more is that you guys know how to use it, because you only get to know there's a problem when you actually do it. So if there's any point that you guys are not able to do, let me know. I'm definitely going to repeat it. It's okay. All right, so I'll just start it back up. Now, this is a resource that I often use as well. It's called Place It. I can just like drop in the link. And what it does that it has pre-made animated templates. So I'm going to send this PowerPoint anyway, so I'm not going to go much into it. But what this website allows you to do is that, I can show it here itself, is that you see all these pre-made templates, right? All you guys have to do is just edit the text, edit the colors, and edit the graphics. That's all. And then you can just download it. You can even search it up according to the various topics that are there. And if, for example, in your business and you're afraid of copyright, laws and stuff, then you can get various inspiration from it as well. Because if you just search up certain topics and relevance to the business you have as well, it gives you a lot of ideas as to what content you can write on it and what designs you can actually do as well. So this is an absolutely amazing website that I just sent through the chat as well. All right. Now, I'm going to show you an report about the creative Instagram story edits that you guys can do. I more so highlighted all the things I wanted to pick out. So if you can see in the first picture, there is this element of the sun. They use triangles and just made, or the orientation of the letters is different here as well. Second is the color palette. If you see that sunshine, it seems sunset grading of colors that they use. This is pretty simple. All it is that the space before the word itself and accordingly adjusted it. Third, look at the orientation of the letters here. They look absolutely amazing with different colors. They just alternate the colors here. Here, if you see, I think Aisha, you did this as well, is that they added dots of different, different variants of red, or you can even make it glow. After this, look at how they actually made the W. All they did was they made the W the same color as that purple in the background. And that's how it gave a more transparent effect on that circle that was behind it. These are just simply the arrows I wanted to emphasize as to how you guys can actually use it as well. So more templates are actually on here. I'll be just sending this link. I've actually, I'm literally on Pinterest a lot. So I made a lot of albums of various Instagram inspos that I get of stories. And accordingly, you guys can get ideas and, tailor it and practice it as well. So this website, I just sent it through this. There's this one tutorial there are 3 tutorials, but I just want you guys to see and let me know if you want me to stop at any point as well, right? So this is something that's like, it's right now it's still, but it's like a variant background. So if you see here, all she does that searches up the GIF of gem and just expands it. So it's a, changing color background. Then all you do is copy paste the images onto it. She does it 3 times. And then just like, I think I'm going to pause a bit here, is that this bit that's translucent, you guys can actually make it with the highlighter as well. Or you can actually, I don't know if you've seen this, but when you write something and you can actually put in a shadow or the border, right? So that's all she did, but she chose the translucent background that is there to it. All right, and then she expands it and covers up a bit of it, the down part, you guys can see. Then very simple lines. She just orients them in a certain way that looks like a diamond or a gem. Color is one of them, and that's it. So that's one thing. I think the idea that I really liked here was that the background that's changing beach, like the background that's varying at the background it seems. But yeah, that's one way you can go about it. Second is how you can create a story like this. So I've seen a lot of these where people are just like using GIFs of people swimming in it or jumping in it, drowning in it. You can get super creative with this. I don't think so. We need to watch a tutorial because it's very self-explanatory. This actually you can just use from your keyboard itself. There's one icon like this. All she did was expand it and colored it accordingly to the cup itself. All right. Third one, I think we can play this, is that we just have to put the spiral. That's one design I really liked. You can even do it on a person. So I can show you guys this bit. So simply quick spiral around the thing itself, and then you go on with an eraser and erase the parts where it's actually covering in front of it. All right, you can do this on a person. You can do this on any of the drinks as well, and get super creative with it. Add gifts as well, and just make it a lot more visually striking. All right. Now, what I want you guys to do is that I want you guys to post about this workshop or just send it to me or in a PYF Dubai. Take a picture of this workshop and just like get creative with it, of any of the elements. So you can use fonts. You can orient them differently. You can, the type of fonts that are there on Instagram, color them differently, spacing them differently as well. You can trace, outline, draw, spirals, anything, copy paste symbols or images, and just put in filters or GIFs as well. So I'm giving you guys 5 minutes, and you can just like get creative as much as possible about posting about this workshop. Let me know if you guys want us to post as well. And if you guys want me to go back to any of the previous edits as to how they were done, let me know. I'll go back as well. Huda, I just saw your story, by the way. Love the ombre color and the arrows and everything. Even like Art Lover's Quotation is a really good book. It just sounds amazing. Once you're done, just let me know through the chat itself, right? I'm just putting on timer as well. I don't know if you guys, it's like 2 and 55 seconds. 2 minutes and 55 seconds. All right, is anyone done? Because they've got like 30 seconds left. Any of the designs you guys want to send through, we're always open till the very end, so it's okay. All right, so I'll just move on to the next slide itself. Is there any questions you guys have in regards to any of the edits that were made? Or any edits that you guys have seen and want to ask questions about? Given there's nothing on chat or anything, I'll just continue forward, yeah? All right, coming to the creative ways you guys can actually repost. Again, I made like a Pinterest album of all the creative ideas you guys can work with. I'll just be adding it on chat. You guys can see this for future reference, but I've added a few here as well. So just see the lines that are there, the two different color lines. One is behind the post and one is in front. The second is the squares that have been used, but in different formats. And same like with this, the lines have been expanded and two different variants of the same color. There is like two different backgrounds where they just divided and expanded to actually be diagonally filled, and the dots that are there. The link I dropped in on the chat. And there is a cool website that I sent before as well. It's called Cool Symbols, right? So the first thing that you actually see is something like this. Wait, I'll just show you the screenshot. But I'm just sending the link once again for you guys. So once you go onto the website, you'll see something like this. Now, these elements, what you can do is simply copy paste it onto your story. So there's a tutorial, like if you want to make something like this, you can simply just do this. So go on to reposting your story, make it a solid color background. All right, and all you've got to do after that is go to that website, Cool Symbol, copy paste the element that you want. Like for example, I think it take a bit of time scrolling downward, but then yeah, I just simply copy pasted it. Go to your text option, paste it there and expand it. Now you'll see me doing that. Then you just like, again, choose the color through the post itself. Expand it, and accordingly, you can adjust the post to come on top of it. So this is one creative way that you can do just to make a creative repost that is there. If you guys have even seen like a Brunch and Cake, they recently started using various image templates at the back of their reshared stories or anything. So just something, a way to visually striking that makes it stand out from the rest. Now this is in regards to how you can add a video background to any of the reposts that you're doing. And now I know a lot of people are actually not able to do this, but I'm just going to play for the ones who are able to, because if you see here, for example, once you repost it, I'll explain a bit as well. So what you do is that when you're reposting it, just take a screenshot of how it looks. Make sure that it's all the way till the very end. Only the white backgrounds here are showing, the white borders here, and the image. Then you just save it to your photos. Now what you do is that you expand the entire post to fill up the story. Then you go onto your media, and it allows you to actually put in a video there. And then you post that image that you took the screenshot of and place it on top of it. So what happened is that because the entire post that you expanded the back is there, it allows you to actually, when you touch upon whatever on the post itself, it redirects you to the post. So whatever you touch on the story, it will actually redirect you to whatever is behind the post itself. That's one creative way when you actually can have a video background and do it. And there's just like more ideas on Pinterest for this. Now, alternatively, because I know a lot of people don't have that option for like video background, you can simply do it through Canva itself. So just keep the Canva, make it on Canva, just place it on it. This is another Instagram idea that's there, how you can actually create something like this when you're reposting. So simply, again, the solid background that we learned before, making such a style and filling it in. And then what you do is that whatever text you want that to be, make it the same color as the main background that is there on the story. And then you just keep placing it on the white design that you made. So that's an easy way to create something that's very creative in terms of reposting. And then she keeps doing it forward and forward. That's one way you guys can do it. Second way is actually in regards to the squares that we saw. So I'm not going to show much of it, but what you can do is that, again, use the website Cool Symbols, take the copy paste the triangle, not triangles, but the squares that are there, and orient them differently. The only thing she actually also added in was the shadow. And that is something you can search, shadow PNG, which gives you a transparent image or background of the shadow, and you just copy paste it onto the post itself. Now this comes to the activity bit. So here is what you're gonna get creative with. You can either repost one of your own posts, or you can repost a story itself. Sorry, not a story, a post to our PYF page. And all you gotta do is send it through our DMs or send it through or tag PYF itself. And you can use any of these elements. You can use the fonts differently. You can do line drawings. You can copy paste from Cool Symbols, PNGs, frames, anything. And you can use GIFs as well. So I'm just putting a timer for 5 minutes. And you guys can send it through because I'm seeing all the submissions that are coming in through our DMs. I just received, actually it looks absolutely amazing. Wait, I'm just gonna share it with you guys if I can right now. I absolutely love it, Anam. The lines, everything.
Thank you.
If you guys want me to read, oh, so that's one thing. So when it comes to GIFs, at least, you can't bring a text in front of it. Even like with the question polls and stuff, you can't bring any GIFs in front of the polls, and you can't bring any text in front of the GIFs. But in terms of like images and stuff, usually what I do is that I actually save it and then I do it once more. Or, but if you're posting a text on top of an image, it shouldn't be a problem. It should actually let you do it. Just let me know if you're able to do it. Like text on an image is fine. Text on a GIF is not really possible when I've tried it at least. Like sometimes what even happens is that in the midst of actually like editing, because something is on top of each other and you just mistakenly click something on there, it just like disrupts everything. Like the layering of it. Okay, we've got 2 minutes and 30 seconds on our clock. You can even try like line drawings, because I used to be obsessed with it at a point where you just search line drawings PNG and just copy paste it onto your story. It looks absolutely amazing as well. Like those artistic faces and everything. All right, we've got 15 seconds. All right, so I'm just gonna move ahead. You guys can feel free to actually send it through at any point of time as well. Now, in regards to any of the things, in regards to reposting itself, are there any questions or any design you guys would want to discuss that you've already seen? Feel free to add a no as well in the chat. Perfect. All right, I'm not going to discuss much about Instagram Live, because I know it's like an amazing way to actually engage with people, and I'm not going to discuss in detail as to how we can start it, but just a few things. Everyone knows of the filter feature that is there for live. I mean, if you want to look absolutely amazing or just want to have a cool, the question filter that's there. Second is how you can actually pin a comment on live story, that's all. So when you just type in something, all you've got to do is keep a hold of it, and it gives you the option to pin the comment. So that just like makes everyone aware that's joining in as to what the live is all about. Just give me a minute. I'm just like making someone, entering someone in. All right. Then third is all about the question feature, in which you can actually answer questions and display it on the screen as well. So if you see that question that's there at the bottom, all you've got to do is that it will appear on your screen and you can answer right there as well. Or media feature, you can get as creative as possible because you're trying to present something, right? So you can just like display media here. And what I would advise you to do is that have this media that you're going to display in the format of a story, like the story size itself, because that just makes it a lot more easier. It doesn't expand and zoom in and just degrades the quality. And second is that you have to arrange it in an order as well. So in your photo album, you have to arrange it such that the last photo that comes first for you would be the one you'll be starting off with. So these are just certain features you can utilize for actually doing a live video. Does anyone have any questions in regards to it? I think we're good to go. All right, tips for growth. So if you want to grow your platform, or you want to go into field and you want to grow the business itself, first would be actually create shareable content. And what I mean by that is that usually if the topic is a lot more socially, politically involved, people often tend to share it. So that's already there. But for example, tagging friends for a workshop itself, like we tried that yesterday, is that where people can actually tag for things that will get shared and stuff. For example, giveaways, free stuff, all those are shareable content. Second is to do with cross-sharing on different platforms. So for example, we already saw the part where we're actually posting on one platform, and you can directly post, for example, from Instagram directly to Twitter and Instagram. So just sharing about things like, for example, if I wrote a blog on something, I can go and marketing it on the various social media platforms that are there. That's cross-sharing on various platforms that is there. Then be social. Obviously, you have to engage with your audience to really keep them there as well. So reply to messages, comments, engage with them, and use the right hashtags, which we already discussed earlier on. You have to keep them relevant. Do not spam it, especially when it comes to Facebook and Twitter. Do not use more than 3. Then you have to create visual striking images, which is what we discussed early on, how you can actually make it from a little bit, like from your story itself, you can actually just make it a lot more aesthetic. That would appeal a lot of people as well. Then obviously quality is always important and you have to keep that in mind, but you have to be also consistent in what you're posting about. So brainstorming ideas as to what you're gonna, be planning ahead to post, that gives a good start off itself. All right, so now in regards to this, do you guys want to break for 10 minutes? Or do you want to transition on to the second part itself? I think a break would be good. What do you guys think? Feel free to comment in, by the way. So right now I'm just gonna keep a timer for 10 minutes and we're gonna take a break. Same, Aisha, same. All right, I'm keeping a break for 10 minutes. Feel free to mute and just like disconnect for now. Wait. So for the next bit, we're all going to be just talking about design and Canva and everything. So for now, we're on a 10 minutes break. Hello guys. Is it really? Same though. All right, guys. If it's all right, I think we should just start right now. It's all the timer like went off. So if everyone can actually have Canva open, that'll be absolutely amazing because it's a lot more easier to follow along when you have it open for you as well. Just a minute. All right, so who here actually knows about Canva and how to use it? I can see your hand. Hello. Anyone else knows how to use it? Ikra for sure knows how to use it. It's her life right now. That's amazing, Myra. What have you used it for? True. Honestly, your Instagram page is absolutely fab. So definitely got to give it up to you. All right. So moving ahead, the first thing that I just want to show you guys for those who are not familiar with Canva, it's like, I can't say easier version of Photoshop because Photoshop is pretty much you guys have to start from scratch, but it's like a lot of pre-made templates that are there. So if you see here, there are like a lot of templates. Like I personally even made my resume over here itself. You have everything for social media, Instagram story, Instagram post, Facebook covers. It covers literally every aspect of social media designing here itself. Personally, you can make invitation cards, resume, and as one of you guys mentioned, even book covers can be made over here. So presentation, website, logo, business card, invoices, marketing posters and stuff. Whoops, doesn't work. Education, certificates. Certificates can be made over here as well because that really helped me in college to make stuff for college itself. So easy certificates to be made, gift tags, photo books, or anything. So for now, I'm just gonna like search up anything. For example, Instagram stories. And latest, because like it was Christmas yesterday, we can just like pick up anything. So if you guys want, you can actually search up anything here. Do you guys want to do Instagram stories, or do you guys have any specific preference that you would want to use? Because technically anything works. Okay, let me try something from here. I used to make my magazine over here as well for our college. So for example, we can do that. They've got a variety of things. For example, you can just write any of the template size that you want, or you can just write in relevance to the topics as well. It gives you a lot of templates. Trust me, it does. So we can just use, for example, this. All right, I'm going to use this template. And what we can do is I'll just be showing you guys the features over here. That will come because my internet is pretty slow. I hope you guys can hear me, by the way. If there's any lag or anything, let me know. All right. In a template, it actually gives you a lot more of templates on the side as well and relevance to it. So you can explore by adding on a new page and choosing a template next. So if you see this is writing a new page. All right, so these are the various templates you can utilize. See them, explore them, add them on. Second bit is all about adding on videos, images, and audios that you would want to upload. They do have their own stock videos as well, but if you want to add on your own, just add through this. Now, stock images are over here through the options for photos. This one is like the most amazing part that I really like to use, is that one is the featured content or the stickers they have at that moment itself. Mostly right now it's going to be for winter and Christmas, but whatever is relevance to the month, like I think when COVID started, it was all like filled with COVID stuff. So over here itself, you see all the featured ones that I have recently. Then you can also play along with the various dotted lines or anything here as well. And if you guys want, like the thing is that it is a bit more time consuming to actually work on Instagram story itself. You can even make Instagram stories here and just like upload it onto Instagram. All right, so we've got various shapes that you can utilize. For example, if I take this, I can even go back here and change the colors. Now, one thing that's absolutely great, because I recently started to notice this, is that whatever image is uploaded, for example, if I go here, I can see the color palette that is there in relevance to that image. So whatever you upload, it actually gives you a detectable color palette that they have out of the image that you uploaded or that's already there. So that's amazing to use here. You can even add in the codes for the color that you need in specific, or for example, if you write blue, it gives you even color palettes for it. So this is super helpful when it comes to designing because color palette plays a very integral role in aesthetics as well. All right, I hope everything's going all right at the other end. All right, so we've got shapes here. Then this is super fun to play with as well. It's like the various forms of frames that you can have, but in a picture format itself. So for example, if you want to upload a video in a phone format, it's all here. So I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm gonna have another thing, so just blank here. For example, if you want to upload anything in the form of a phone, in a phone itself, you can upload any of the videos or any of the photos that you have and just like drag it and keep it on it. So once you do that, it just like places it in the place of the frame itself. All right. For example, we can even have laptops. I'm just going to take that out. You can have laptops. You can have various. Just a minute. Here. You can even recently add the film reel that's there. So you can add any image and just design it accordingly for Instagram stories or any of your posts as well. Then there is even like there was one that I used to use, circular one, the gem one, the post-it format as well, and even letters. So you can add in images and they will take up the shape of the letters that are there. So I use this bit a lot, the frames bit, because you can get literally you can get as creative as possible with this. Even with this, the swipe up options, not swipe up, the unlock option, you can add in an image and then after that you can just add in any text that's here. All the variety of text formats are also here and the fonts as well. So if you see all these, the ones that I use commonly are actually horizon. I just find it very appealing. So for example, swipe. I hope it's swipe right. Swipe right, it's all. So just like adjust it accordingly. For example, 12, and just place it over here. All right. Then obviously you can add an image, you can change the color to it as well. Position is that this is again how we're talking about it in Instagram story. You can actually add something over each other itself or behind it, and that's what you're gonna do through the option of position. You can even copy paste the style of certain things. For example, the text, how we do in Word, just copy the style, the format, transparency of it as well. You can adjust it accordingly. For example, if you want to make it translucent, then you can even lock a layer, which I hope there was on Instagram story, but unfortunately it isn't. It's locking the layer would actually not allow you to move it. So you can move anything around it, but not necessarily the thing that you locked. So that's there. Then copy pasting the same thing over and over again. Effects of it as well. How you can actually curve a text around something or just make it glow, and various formats over here itself. All right, so frames is actually like a very amazing thing that you can utilize, even the puzzle format as well. Then the stickers they have, like gift on Instagram story. It's all here. And you can use them on various posters, on various things you want to get about as well. But the thing is that you would have to save it in the format of MP4 then. So one more thing that I actually recently learned is how to make a gradient background, because I thought that was a given thing. Let me just unlock this. So how you can actually make a gradient background is like, you see these options for gradients, right? So you choose any shape that you want. For example, I like this one. So if you want the entire background to be gradient, all you've got to do is expand it. Just expand it and cover literally entire page itself. You can do that for Instagram stories. It's super simple because I find it a bit complicated on Photoshop. But here you just have to expand it all over the page, and then you can just change about the colors here as well. All right. Whatever colors you want, just make the gradient of that. All right, so this is done. Then we got various stickers here as well that you can utilize, and just explore as much as you want the elements form itself, because it all comes with actually using it. Then they have stock music that you can actually use and apply onto your Instagram story as well. Your videos that you can add on, the stock videos that have the backgrounds, the solid backgrounds, the gradient backgrounds they have here as well. And the rest, I don't really meddle into, so it's okay. These are like your top things that you would usually use. Now, you can also flip it. You can also orient it in certain ways. Let me see what I can show you more about Canva. Here is that. One thing that's absolutely great is that, especially if you're working in a team, you can actually share your work as well. So you can just like make it into either the view format, or you can use it as an editable format as well. So all I've got to do is just share it directly to an email, or you can actually form a team, copy the link and send it to them. So they can do the designing with you at that time as well. All right, then the best format here is that you can save it as any format you would want. JPEG, PNG, PDF, MP4, or even a GIF. So that's all to do with this. Is there any questions you guys would have in regards to Canva itself? So I think this is like the basic about Canva, and certainly as to how much you can explore. Like one of the things that I really like over here is their resume, because I recently made mine through here itself, and you can get as creative as possible. You can literally make brochures, book covers, and everything here. Even logos, actually. I remember like seeing this one where it gives you various formats for resumes as well. Let me just open one for you guys, and I can just show you as to what I saw that time. I'm so sorry for my internet connections, by the way. It's like loading really slow at my end. So if you can see here, there are a variety of resumes you can use as well. So you have professional, modern, simple, and even infographic. Infographics are actually a lot more creative, which is really surprising to me. But they have like a variety of icons that you can add to your resume, and that makes it a lot more visually striking. Again, the gradient factor that has been used here, color, everything. So that's more to do with Canva. If there are any specific questions you guys would like to ask in regards to it, let me know. But otherwise, that's pretty much it. And if you can even use this without an account, but if you want to save your work, like the editable version of those works, then it's better to make an account itself. All right, so anyone's got any questions here? Because I just have to show you one more link and that's it. And it'll come to almost an end itself. Let me actually share this with you guys. So there's a link that I sent right now. It is story set illustration. And this again is absolutely amazing if you want to design. For example, if I want to search up anything to do with social media, for example, my God, my spellings. Well, yeah, and I get a variety of illustrations in relevance to it itself. So all these illustrations, you can, by the way, use this in Photoshop or Canva or anything. Even you can copy paste it onto your Instagram story or Instagram post as well. So for example, if I want this, now what I can also do in this, I can change the color that's there. So the person that is there, I can easily just edit it, the color through this, even add in the color code if it's really specific. And I can also like do various things that I can hide, for example, the character. I don't want the character, but I need this. I can just select what I want from it, the plants or this, and I can download it in the SVG format or PNG. So either of these two, you can actually download, and accordingly, like I added a lot of these in my PowerPoint if you guys saw. Simply just changing the colors about and stuff. Let me just show you here itself. Just a minute. Yeah, so if you guys saw like the break even, all these illustrations that were all there, they were all from this website, and it's super useful to use for design. This is done, this is done. So from all this, I hope but there was one more point that I forgot to mention in Instagram. Oh, sorry, not Instagram. Canva was that you can even animate the post itself. There's an option, if you guys saw, let me know if you want me to go back, but there's an option, whatever you make, there's an option up that says animate. So that animates, for example, everything's going from right to left or appearing, zooming in, and all that. So it just makes it a lot more creative and engaging as well. Then downloading it as PNG, JPG, PDF, and everything. So it's super useful if you're especially in school or university and getting work done really efficiently and fast. That's like the best way to go. And then this was the website that I showed you guys in regards to vectors and illustrations that you can have. So this pretty much brings us towards the end of the workshop itself. So I would like to ask you guys, what did you like learning the most? And feel free to actually on your cameras and on your, unmute yourself and stuff as well. Or just like add into the chat. Oh, what did I use to create the presentation? I actually got this template online. I think it was called Slides Go. I can just share the link with you guys if you want as well. They've got apps. By the way, I'm looking this side because all the chats are coming over here for me. So I'll just share this link with you guys because it's super useful in terms of having a color palette of a PowerPoint available. Over here. So SlidesGo actually has like variety of types of presentation available as well. It even has medical presentations available in terms of content and design. So it makes it a lot more easier. But feel free to answer any of these questions in the comments or just like talk over here because it's pretty much radio silent on my end. Oh, thank you, girl. I'm glad it's actually very helpful. So we are planning to send the PowerPoint as well after this. So you guys have all the resources with the links in it because I think a lot of you, if you joined later on and previously to it, there were a lot more resources that were shown. That was really helpful. Oh yes, don't forget to send in your testimonials as well. I think that's pretty much it. Like, what do you guys, let me know what you guys think of the workshop. and what you think could be done differently and what we can do, for example, a second edition of it. I'm glad, Myra.
Thank you so much, Sabila. And yet again, I'm going to say if anyone has any questions, now is a good time.
Oh yeah.
Please don't forget to send your testimonials, and we will be sending out a feedback form as well. Please do fill that out. Any idea, any parting words from you, concluding words from you, Sabila?
I just hope you guys learn something. Honestly, from my end, I just hope you guys learn something and actually use it. Because if you do, feel free to tag us, me, PYF, anyone.
I'm a total design noob, like really bad design noob, and I feel like I learned so much, honestly, Jen.
I think Canva is a big lifesaver as well in terms of that.
I actually started enjoying design. That was a cool thing with Canva because it became accessible. And I also want to thank our volunteers, Junaid and Zainab, for staying with us this whole time. We have one last workshop in this series coming up on Monday at 6 p.m. Also very excited about that one. It's called the Business Bonanza, and it's basically about a series of business challenges that our PYF member Mehreen will be leading with a co-lead. So we hope to see many of you there. And with that, let's close up for now, Sabila.
Yes, for sure.
All
pretty
right.
much came up towards the end as well. Oh yeah, can we have a picture now? For sure.
Yes,
I completely forgot about that actually. Oh wait, Zainab, will you take it?
Yes, I'll take it.
All right, guys,
ready?
if you want to open your camera, feel free to do so right now itself.
Yeah, please everyone comment so that I can see the screenshot. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Can we stop screen sharing?
Oh, I totally forgot. Yeah. Oh my god, thank you. Whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smile. And we're done.
Thank you for that. Thank you everyone for coming in, by the way.
Thank you guys. Have a great evening.
Bye.
Bye.